Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Assessing writing. Assessing writing is a referred international journal providing a forum for ideas, research, and practice on the assessment of written language. Assessing writing publishes articles, book reviews, conferences report, and academic exchange concerning writing assessment of all kinds, including traditional, direct, and standard thesis, from form of testing of writing, alternative performance assessment such as portfolios, workplace sampling, and classroom assessment. Gallery of written language, academic writing, paper and general subject report, essay, competition, academically focused journals, short answer test responses, technical reports, thesis, dissertation, job related writing, message, phone message, letter, email, memos, inter-office report, job evaluation, project report, schedules, label, sign, advertisement, announcement, manuals. Personal writing, letters, email, greeting cards, invitation, message, notes, calendar entries, shopping list, reminder, financial document, check form, loan application, form questionnaires, medical reports, immigration documentaries, personal journal fiction, short stories, and poetry. The type of writing performed: imitative. This category includes the ability to spell correctly and to perceive phoneme, verb, correspondence in the English spelling system. It is a level which learners are trying to master the mechanic of writing. Intensive. Skills in producing appropriate vocabulary within a context, collocation, and idiom, and correct grammatical feature up to the length of a sentence. Responsive. Text responds to pedagogical directive, list of criteria, outline, and other guidelines. Genre of writing include brief, narrative, and the description. Short report, lab report, summarize, brief responses to reading and interpretation of court of graphs. Extensive. Writers focus on achieving a purpose, organizing and developing ideas logically, using detail to support or illustrate ideas, demonstrating syntactic and lexical variety, and in many cases, engaging in the process of multiple drafts to achieve a final product. Micro and macro skills of writing. Micro skills. Number 1. Produce graphemes and orthographic pattern of English. Product writing at an efficient rate of speed to suit the purpose. Produce an acceptable core of words and use appropriate word order patterns. Use acceptable grammatical system, tense, agreement, pluralization, pattern, and rules. Express a particular meaning in different grammatical form. Use cohesive device in written discourse. Macro skills. Use the rhetorical form and convention of writing discourse. Appropriately accomplish the communicative function of writing text according to form and purpose, confirm link and connection between events, and communicate such relation as main idea, supporting idea, new information, given information, generalization, and exemplification. Distinguish between literal and implied meaning when writing. Correctly convey culturally specific reference in the context of the written text. Develop and use a battery of writing strategies, such as accurately assessing the audience interpretation, using free writing device, writing with fluency in the first draft, using paraphrase and synonyms, soliciting peer and instructor feedback, and using feedback for revision and editing. Designing assessment text imitative writing. Number 1. Copying. There is nothing innovative or modern about directing a test taker to copy letter a word. Listening clues in selection text. Combine dictation with a written script that has a relatively frequent deletion ratio, every fourth or fifth word, perhaps. Picture cue task. Familiar pictures are displayed, and test takers are told to write the word that the picture represents. Verb completion task. A variation on picture is the use of a simple form that asks for name, address, phone number, and other data. Converting number and abbreviation to words. Some tests have a section on which number are written, for example, hours of the day, dates, or schedules, and test takers are directed to write out the numbers, example, hours of the day, dates, or schedules. Spelling text and detecting phonem, grapheme, and correspondence. Number 1. Spelling test. In a traditional, old-fashioned spelling test, the teacher dictates a simple list of words, one word at a time, followed by the word in a sentence. Repeat again, with a pause for test taker to write the word. Number 2. Picture cue text. Pictures are displayed with the objective of focusing on familiar words whose spelling may be unpredictable. Number 3. Multiple choice techniques. Presenting word and phrase in the form of multiple choice text risks crossing over into the domain of assessing reading. But if the item have a follow-up writing component, they can serve as formative enforcement of spelling convention. Number 5. Matching phonetic symbols. If students have become familiar with the phonetic alphabet, they could be shown phonetic symbols and asked to write the correctly spelled word alphabetically. Designing assessment tasks. Intensive writing, dictation, and dictocom. A form of controlled writing related to dictation is a dictocom. Here a paragraph is read at normal speed, usually 2 or 3 times. Then the teacher asks students to rewrite the paragraph from the best of their recollection. Grammatical transformation tasks. The various versions of the task are possible. Changing the tense in a paragraph. Change full form of verb to reduced form. Change statement to yes or no. Or we have question. Change question into statement. Combine 2 sentences into one using a relative pronoun. Change direct speech to indirect speech. Change from active to passive voice.
Next is picture quote text. A drawing of some simple action is shown. The test text write a brief sentence. Picture description. Picture sequence description. Vocabulary assessment text. Ordering text. Ordering or reordering a scrambled set of words into a correct sentence. Next, short answer and sentence completion text. Limited response writing text. Issues in assessing responsive and extensive writing. Responsive writing creates the opportunity for test takers to offer an array of possible creative responses within a pedagogic or assessment framework. Test takers are responding to a prompt or assignment. The genres of text that are typically first is short reports, next responses to the reading of an article or story, summaries of articles or stories, brief narratives or descriptions, and interpretations of graph tables and charts. Responsive and extensive writing. First, there is authenticity, two scoring, and the three is time. Four major topics will be addressed. First, a few fundamental text types at the lower, responsive end of the continuum of writing at this level. 2. A description and analysis of the test of written English as a typical time impromptu test of writing. 3. A survey of methods of scoring and evaluating writing production. 4. A discussion of the assessment qualities of editing and responding to a series of writing drafts. Next is designing assessment text, responsive and extensive writing. The first is paraphrasing and the second is quiet questions and answer. The three is paragraph construction text and the four is topic development within a paragraph. And 5 is development of mind and supporting ideas across paragraph. Next slide is strategy options. First, attending to text. 4 types of text are commonly addressed in academic writing course. There is compare, contrast, problem solutions, pros or cons, and cause or effect. 2. Attending to genre. The genres of writing that were listed at the beginning of this chapter provide some sense of the many varieties of the tests that may be produced by a second language learner in a writing curriculum. Next is responsive and extensive writing. The first, holistic scoring. A single score is assigned to an essay which represents a reader's general overall assessment. The advance is fast evolution, relatively high reliability, the fact that scores represent standards, the fact that scores tend to emphasize the writer's and applicability to writing across many different disciplines. And there is disadvantage. One score makes difference across the sub-skills within each score. No diagnostic information is available. The scale may not apply equally well to all genres of writing. Writers need to be extensively trained to use the scale accurately. Next slide is primary trait scoring. In summary, a primary trait score would assess the accuracy of the outcome of the original or summary, the clarity of steps of the procedure and the final result of lab report, the description of the main features of the graph or graph description, the expression of the writer opinion. There is analytic scoring. As many as 6 major elements of writing are scored, thus enabling learners to hone in on weakness and to capitalize on strength. Next is assessment of initial stage in composing. First, focus your efforts primarily on meaning, main idea, and organization. Comment on the introductory paragraph. Make general comments about the clarity of the main idea and logic or appropriateness of the organization. Third, as a rule of thumb, ignore minor or local grammatical and lexical errors. Indicate what appear to be major global. Do not rewrite questionable, ungrammatical or awkward sentence. Comment on features that appear to be irrelevant to the topic. The final slide is assessment of later stages in composing. Comment on the specific clarity and strength of all main ideas and support ideas and on argument and logic. Call attention to minor or local grammatical and mechanical errors, but direct the writer to self-correct. Comment on any further word choices and expressions that may not be awkward but are not as clear or direct as they could be. Point out any problems with cohesive device within an anchor paragraph. If appropriate, comment on documentation, citation of source evidence and other support. And finally, comment on the adequacy and strength of the conclusion. Thank you, that's all for our group. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.